In 30 BCE, a 39-year-old queen locked herself inside a mausoleum in Alexandria. Within days, she was dead. Her kingdom became a Roman province. And within a generation, Rome would no longer be a republic, but an empire. This is not just the story of Cleopatra 7. It is the story of how the fate of Egypt became entangled with the ambitions of Julius Caesar, Mark Antony, and Octavian, the future Augustus. It is a story preserved in the writings of Plutarch, Cassius Dio, Appian, and Suetonius, and shaped heavily by Roman propaganda. Today, we separate documented history from political myth. If you value fact-based, source-driven history, like this video, share it, and subscribe, because what you're about to hear reshaped the Mediterranean world forever. Cleopatra VII Philopator was born in 69 BCE. She was the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic dynasty, a Greek royal house established by Ptolemy I, a general under Alexander the Great. By the 1st century BCE, Egypt was no longer an empire. It was wealthy, but politically fragile. Rome dominated Mediterranean politics. Cleopatra's father, Ptolemy XII Auletes, relied heavily on Roman support to maintain his throne. When he died in 51 BCE, Cleopatra, around 18 years old, became co-ruler with her brother Ptolemy XIII. Sibling co-rule and marriage were Ptolemaic tradition, but power struggles were common. Within a few years, Cleopatra was forced out of Alexandria by court factions supporting her brother. At the same time, Rome descended into civil war. Julius Caesar and Pompey the Great fought for control of the Republic. In 48 BCE, Pompey was defeated at Pharsalus and fled to Egypt. He was assassinated on arrival by advisors to Ptolemy XIII. When Caesar arrived shortly after, he was presented with Pompey's severed head. Ancient sources record that Caesar was displeased, and this moment changed everything. Cleopatra needed Roman support to regain her throne. Caesar needed stability in Egypt, Rome's crucial grain supplier. According to Plutarch, Cleopatra had herself secretly brought into Caesar's quarters, possibly wrapped in bedding or a sack. While dramatic, historians agree the meeting occurred. What followed was the Alexandrian War, 4847 BCE. Caesar backed Cleopatra. Ptolemy XIII drowned in the Nile during the conflict. Cleopatra was restored to power, now ruling with another younger brother, Ptolemy XIV. In 47 BCE, she gave birth to a son, Ptolemy XV Caesar, known as Caesarion. Suetonius notes Caesar privately acknowledged the child. However, Caesar never formally named him as heir under Roman law. Cleopatra traveled to Rome in 46 BCE. She stayed across the Tiber in one of Caesar's villas. Her presence caused political discomfort. Roman elites were wary of monarchs, especially foreign queens. In 44 BCE, Caesar was assassinated on the Ides of March. Cleopatra returned to Egypt shortly afterward. Her position was once again precarious. If her relationship with Caesar was strategic, it preserved Egyptian autonomy temporarily. But Rome was entering another power struggle. If you're finding value in this deep dive into real ancient political history, take a moment to like the video. Comment below, do you think Cleopatra was defending Egypt or expanding her own power? And subscribe, because now we move to the alliance that truly changed history. After Caesar's death, Rome formed the Second Triumvirate in 43 BCE, Octavian, Mark Antony, Lepidus. The Republic was effectively divided among them. Mark Antony controlled Rome's eastern provinces. In 41 BCE, Antony summoned Cleopatra to Tarsus in Asia Minor. Plutarch describes her arrival vividly, dressed as Aphrodite aboard a grand barge. But remember, Plutarch wrote more than a century later. Still, the meeting was politically significant. Antony needed financial and military resources for campaigns against Parthia. Cleopatra needed protection from Rome. They formed both a political and personal alliance. They had 3 children: Alexander Helios, Cleopatra Selene, Ptolemy Philadelphus. In 34 BCE, Antony held the donations of Alexandria. He granted eastern territories to Cleopatra and their children. This move shocked Rome. Octavian seized the opportunity. He launched a propaganda campaign, portraying Antony as corrupted by an Eastern monarch. Roman sources accuse Antony of abandoning Roman values. But we must ask, were these accusations political strategy? Octavian declared war, not on Antony, but on Cleopatra. This framing was deliberate. Rome was more comfortable fighting a foreign queen than a Roman rival. Tensions escalated. In 31 BCE, the decisive battle took place at Actium, off the western coast of Greece. Octavian's fleet was commanded by Marcus Agrippa. Antony and Cleopatra commanded a combined force. The battle ended in defeat for Antony and Cleopatra. Ancient sources claim Cleopatra withdrew mid-battle. Historians debate whether this was panic or coordinated retreat. Antony followed her to Egypt. Octavian pursued. In 30 BCE, Octavian invaded Egypt. Antony committed suicide after a failed defense. Cleopatra sought negotiation. Cassius Dio records that she attempted to secure her children's future. When it became clear she would be displayed in Octavian's triumph in Rome, she took her own life. Tradition says by asp bite. The exact method remains uncertain, but her death is firmly dated to August 30th BCE. Egypt became a Roman province. It was now personally controlled by Octavian. In 27 BCE, Octavian became Augustus. The Roman Republic ended. The Roman Empire began. Cleopatra's death marked the end of the Hellenistic Age, the world shaped by Alexander the Great, and Roman propaganda endured for centuries. Most surviving detailed accounts of Cleopatra were written by Roman authors under imperial rule. They portrayed her as seductive, manipulative, and dangerous. Modern historians often reinterpret her as politically capable, multilingual, and strategically astute. She spoke Egyptian, unlike many of her Ptolemaic predecessors. She navigated the most dangerous political environment in the Mediterranean. Her alliances were tools of survival. Cleopatra did not conquer Rome. Rome conquered Egypt. But in the struggle between them, the Roman Republic collapsed. Her story is not merely romance. It is statecraft. It is propaganda. It is the intersection of two civilizations at the moment one consumed the other. And history, as preserved by Rome, ensured her legacy would remain controversial. If you value historically grounded documentaries, like this video. Share it with someone who thinks Cleopatra was only a seductress. Comment your perspective below. And subscribe, because next we uncover another turning point where power reshaped the ancient world. History is not just what happened, it is who wrote it and why.